Have you ever wondered why some people live very ordinary lives, never competing or grabbing for more, yet they're cherished, supported, and everything seems to flow smoothly, almost mysteriously? Have you ever looked back at your own life and quietly asked, do I have merit? Am I truly sowing wholesome causes? In truth, with every passing day, each of us is quietly planting seeds, both wholesome and unwholesome, through every thought, every word, and every action. When the time is right, those seeds sprout and bear fruit. Sometimes in this very life, sometimes in another. In today's video, we'll slow down and listen deeply to recognize 9 signs that your karma is on a good path. You may not have noticed them before, but if you find them in yourself, congratulations, such signs are rare and precious. And if you don't see them yet, please don't be discouraged. The moment you listen with a sincere heart, a wholesome seed has already been planted and is beginning to grow. Sign 1. You naturally think of others. Some people move quietly through life. They don't announce their goodness, nor do they need recognition. They may lack wealth or status, yet their hearts stay warm. When they see suffering, they feel it. When they see someone tired, they willingly offer their share. Even in small moments, they ask, are you okay? Do you need a hand? In the Dharma, mind is the root. A kind mind gives rise to kind speech and kind action. When we live sincerely and care for others, life opens up, and supportive conditions tend to arise at the right time. A tiny act guiding someone across the street, buying a simple meal for an elder when born from sincerity, is not tiny in the realm of karma. People like this are not weak. They carry a gentle, steady strength. Sign 2. You help without expecting anything back. Have you ever helped someone wholeheartedly and then simply forgotten about it? No need for thanks, no thought of return, not even the need for them to know your name, only the clear seeing that help is needed and you wish to help. In karmic terms, giving without expectation creates profound merit. As the small self quiets down, true compassion shows itself. Not everyone can do good without asking for return. But if you have moved beyond the hunger for recognition, you've already come far. Act without clinging. Give without grasping the spirit of a bodhisattva. Sometimes kindness is met with disappointment. If you still choose to be kind, that is spiritual maturity. The merit of no expectation ripens naturally. Like rain on fertile ground, it needs no applause. The wholesome seeds keep sprouting, and support arrives in due time. If this describes you, smile. You are a small light in a turbulent world, and that light will guide both you and those around you. Sign 3. You're spared from major misfortunes, and help arrives right on time. Have you ever been in a situation that felt truly dangerous or hopeless? Yet at the last moment you slipped safely through by a hair's breadth. When despair was near, someone suddenly appeared and opened a gentle way out. We wonder, why am I so lucky? This is not mere chance. It is the fruit of wholesome causes you've planted. In Buddhist language, this is protective merit. Moments of forgiveness, generosity, and quiet sacrifice never disappear. They accumulate and weave an unseen net that catches you when you fall. The heavy becomes light, the light becomes nothing. Danger turns to safety. Night gives way to dawn. When virtue is full, trouble struggles to land. You may not expect anything when you help others. Yet when illness comes, someone offers the right remedy. When work is lost, someone points you to a fitting job. When you're at your lowest, a pair of open arms is there. To those who understand karma, this isn't coincidence, but conditions ripening at the right time. And if you're in a hard stretch now, please don't lose heart. Keep living honestly, doing good, speaking gently, and steadying the mind. Merit doesn't ripen instantly, but it moves toward you, little by little, like the first light rising quietly after a still night. Sign 4, you keep meeting good people. Some of us rarely run into the malicious. Around them are kind neighbors, friends, and co-workers. In hard moments, someone offers a sincere reminder. When spirits sink, a stranger says a gentle word and warmth returns. These moments are not random luck. They are wholesome conditions ripening. In the Buddhist view, those who enter our lives don't arrive by accident. They come from past connections helping, caring, and sharing what is good. They return not to repay a debt, but to walk alongside us on the wholesome path. By contrast, if someone repeatedly faces deceit, betrayal, or drama, it suggests a shared karma that has yet to be transformed. If you're fortunate to have good people near, recognize that this too is your karma. A person who is honest, sincere, and kind will naturally attract others on the same frequency. If you wish to know a person's merit, look at who walks beside them. If your life includes many who are caring and considerate, be grateful for that every day. Keep nourishing a kind heart so the shared karma around you grows lighter, higher, and brighter. A life with fewer quarrels and less envy. That is a great happiness many overlook while they have it. Sign 5. You don't hold grudges. You can let go. Everyone has been hurt. Harsh words can wound. Broken trust can disappoint. Some carry resentment for a lifetime. Others set it down with ease. If you belong to the second group, not holding anger too long, able to forgive, able to rest your heart, you carry a major sign of wholesome karma. Resentment is a flame. When you cradle it, you are the first to burn. Forgiveness doesn't approve of wrong. It frees the heart from its burden. This requires inner strength and a heart that sees others with compassion, not accusation. Many people reach old age still haunted by old stories. Some practice at home or at a meditation center, listen to Dharma talks, and read scriptures, yet the heart remains full of resentment. Then merit cannot grow. Learning to release what isn't worth holding is the gentlest path to freedom. Letting go isn't giving up. It is seeing clearly, then putting it down, no longer letting it run your mind. The Buddha taught that hatred is never appeased by hatred. Only love and letting go can end it. If you can forgive those who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace, you are planting the seeds of great goodness. With age we learn, a light heart is the finest gift to oneself. Those with wholesome karma release at the right time, giving peace a place to rest. Sign 6, you don't flaunt your merit. Some people quietly plant goodness and never keep score. They help, then forget. They give, then act as if nothing was given. They live well with integrity and kindness, yet never declare themselves blessed. The more they achieve, the more humble they become. That humility is a major sign of genuine merit. The Dharma teaches, when we do good and show it off, the beauty of the act thins out. Those who keep merit quietly show wisdom. Their virtue matures and endures, safe from being eaten away by ego. Notice how it goes. Someone helps a little, then talks about it everywhere. May start sincere, yet over time reputation slips in, and the good deed gets mixed with the craving for praise. By contrast, those with wholesome karma don't need an audience. They do good as naturally as breathing, then move on. They know that doing good for recognition is a transaction, not seed planting. True sowing means seeking nothing but a peaceful heart, and if your kindness becomes known, that's okay, so long as humility stays. But if the more you do, the more you feel above others, that's conceit quietly draining your merit. So guard merit like a lamp in the wind. Display it, and it dies. Shield it, and it shines long. When kindness is quiet, blessings blossom quietly. When it's paraded around, blessings slowly fade. If you can help without needing credit, you are walking a path of steady, silent accumulation of good karma. Sign 7. You are genuinely well-liked, with no strings attached. Some people are welcomed wherever they go, without trying to charm anyone. They don't hustle, they don't perform, yet others trust and care for them. This is long-cultivated goodness ripening, a past of kindness, forgiveness, and generosity. Naturally, they carry a soft presence, a field of gentle goodwill. Blessed people move through life without adding new resentments, and instead weave wholesome ties. They speak without wounding, listen sincerely, judge less, envy less. In a world of friction, the one who helps you breathe easier is already a benefactor. Being well-liked is a precious, invisible asset. It lightens the weight of living, and it becomes a shield in hard times. When trouble comes, hands appear to help. When courage falters, companionship appears to steady you, not because you begged for it, but because you planted those seeds long ago. If people often care for you for no clear reason, not for money, status, or talent, please treasure it. It is clear evidence of merit born of a good heart, and to keep that merit strong, just one thing is needed. Continue to live with an honest, loving heart. Sign 8, a calm mind, restful sleep, and contentment. There is a quiet form of happiness that is deeply precious. A peaceful night's sleep. Not everyone has it. Some appear well off, big house, nice car, reputation, yet at night they toss and turn, eyes closed while the mind stays wide open, flooded with worries. Others work hard all their lives with little to their name, yet when evening comes, they sleep deeply, calm as a child. Why is that? Sleep mirrors the mind. The steadier the mind, the better the rest. Those with wholesome karma tend to live in contentment, knowing what is enough. A simple meal can taste wonderful. A kind word can feel warm. Seeing others happy brings sympathetic joy. What seems small is, in truth, a great sign of a heart free from grudges. Restless nights often come from heavy burdens in the mind. The weight of resentment, the pull of ambition, the ache of regret, the anxiety of tomorrow. When we live simply and sincerely, Without scorekeeping or clinging, the heart grows still like a quiet lake. That stillness becomes the foundation of real happiness. Beyond sleep, wholesome karma shows up as easy contentment. We don't demand too much from the world. We choose inner sufficiency, gratitude for a meal, gentle speech, a compassionate gaze. In this way, life grows simpler, the heart grows lighter, and inner freedom becomes visible day by day. Many mistake happiness for having more, yet having more with a chaotic mind still feels scarce, while with a peaceful mind, little already feels enough. There are evenings when you lie down, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and feel weightless. No regrets, no grudges, no pressing fears. That is an invisible yet priceless blessing. And if sleep is still hard for you right now, please don't lose heart. Try 3 small, genuine steps. Be a little more truthful. Lighten the heart a little. Forgive a little more. Night after night, you may find you're not only resting on the bed, but also resting on your own goodness, living with mindfulness and contentment each day. Sign 9, a sincere wish to learn the Dharma. Amid the busyness of life, there are moments when you quietly ask, what am I living for? What is enough? Where do I go when this life ends? If you've ever asked such questions over afternoon tea, through a sleepless night, or after a wave of sadness, then wholesome roots are awakening within you. Not everyone enjoys hearing the Dharma. Some dismiss it after a few lines. Yet if each time you grasp a true teaching, your heart feels lighter and you want to live more kindly, that is a sign of long-planted goodness ripening now. In the present, you may practice at home or at a meditation center, listen to Dharma talks, and read scriptures, cultivating mindfulness and compassion, not from pressure, but because the heart freely chooses. And if you don't just want to know, but also want to live the Dharma, to study karma more deeply, refine yourself, soften anger, and steady the mind. Then you are no longer wandering in the haze of samsara. You are turning toward the light. Sometimes a timely talk, a page in a book, or a teacher's presence is enough to wake you up. The old pursuits look fragile. The path of wakefulness grows clear. Learning the Dharma isn't about becoming special. It's about knowing who you are, why you live, and correcting what needs correction, little by little, day by day. If you love studying, enjoy Dharma talks, seek wholesome company, live gently, and let go of what you don't need, then congratulations. You're walking a quiet path that is bright and safe, the path of wholesome karma. Don't wait to see before you believe. The sooner you understand, the gentler life becomes. People often say, you reap what you sow. That saying isn't a threat. It's simply the natural rhythm of life itself. Yet not everyone grasps this truth early. Some only believe in karma when it's right before their eyes. Others believe only when they themselves must face the result. But there are also those who awaken sooner, live in harmony with cause and effect, and thus suffer less, worry less, and live more lightly. Imagine 2 travelers walking the same road. The first one notices scattered stones and pauses to clear them away, thinking how tomorrow's journey will be smoother. The second ignores them, saying, I'll deal with it if I fall. and in time the very stone ignored becomes the one that makes them stumble. Life works much the same way. Karma may not appear instantly, yet when it ripens, no one escapes it. It moves slowly but precisely, following the natural law of life, that whatever we put out will eventually return. And so we ask, why do the unkind prosper while the kind suffer? The truth is, karma is not instant math, nor is it a debt collected today. It flows like a quiet stream and rests like a seed buried deep in the soil. Some seeds sprout with the first rain, while others wait for the right season, the right light and air, before they break through. Likewise, some may harm, cheat, or live carelessly, yet appear to flourish, thinking they've escaped the law of cause and effect. But karma isn't measured by immediate loss or gain. It can manifest as illness, a broken relationship, or a mind that never finds rest. The roots of a tree spread underground, long before its branches reach the sun. Unseen does not mean absent. That's why even suffering itself is a lesson. The kind may endure hardship, yet those trials refine the heart and deepen their understanding of life. They may lose something on the outside, yet keep peace within. Think of a drop of water on a lotus leaf. It rolls, it may be carried away by the wind, but it doesn't vanish. It simply transforms. Karma, too, may not appear immediately, but it waits for the right moment to reveal what must be learned. Moreover, karma isn't punishment, it's reflection. When we smile at life, life smiles back. When we plant kindness, life responds in kind, even if not right away. Look at a golden leaf falling. It's not an ending, but a cycle. The leaf returns to the earth, becomes nourishment, and when spring arrives, new shoots rise again. Karma works the same way. It never stops at a single moment, but keeps flowing through the stream of life. Therefore, karma isn't fast, but it's exact, like a wind that cannot stop halfway, like a river that cannot run backward. Every thought, word, and deed leaves a trace in the current of causes and conditions, and sooner or later, it returns to us in its own form. So let us live sincerely, starting now. Think before speaking, pause before acting, and avoid causing pain if we don't wish pain to return. Once we truly understand karma, we no longer fear the future, because we know the future is being shaped by what we do today. Karma isn't fast, but it is precise. It's like the wind. Once it moves, it can't stop halfway. It's like a river. Once it flows, it can't turn back. Every thought, word, and action we make today, no matter how small, is shaping the direction our life will take tomorrow. Those who understand this early live more carefully. Those who ignore it, thinking it'll be fine, often only understand when the storm arrives. That's why there are two kinds of people in this world. One kind believes in karma only after they fall, when pain makes them realize what they once denied. The other kind recognizes it early, so they live with awareness, kindness, and restraint, avoiding needless harm. They're like a traveler carrying a lamp in the dark, seeing where the road dips or curves, and thus stumbling far less, not because they're wiser, but simply because they're willing to look within. Some walk in darkness and resent the one carrying the light, for that light reveals the flaws they prefer to hide. Yet sooner or later, everyone must light their own lamp, for no one can hold it for us forever. That lamp is wisdom, awareness, and the courage to see the roots of our own suffering so that we don't repeat them. When the night grows quiet, conscience speaks. In the silence, when there's no noise, no audience, no judgment. That's when the heart speaks most clearly. Some people laugh and seem happy on the outside, yet deep down they feel empty and uneasy. They know somewhere within that they've hurt someone, betrayed a truth, or caused suffering. They think they've forgotten, but the heart never forgets. That quiet unrest is karma's gentle knock, reminding us to pause and look again. A harsh word may seem harmless now, but it's like an arrow released. When it returns, we may not recognize it, only feel its pain. Those who understand karma early aren't fearful. They simply choose a life without fear, a life where there's nothing to repay, nothing to regret. When you plant nothing that harms, you have nothing to fear from the harvest. For this reason, those who live by karma don't pretend to be virtuous. They simply choose to live rightly. They speak gently not for praise, but because they know words leave traces in the hearts of others, and those traces will echo back into their own hearts someday. They help others not for gratitude, but because helping others helps themselves. For compassion is where peace begins. Some people ask, if karma is fair, why do deceivers still prosper, while honest people struggle? The answer is that karma doesn't work in moments. It unfolds slowly like sunlight through clouds, but it always arrives. There once was a wealthy man, clever but driven by greed. He took advantage of others to build his empire, and for years it seemed he had everything. A grand house, fine cars, success. Yet as time passed, his children grew distant, friends drifted away, and in his later years, he found himself alone in a vast, silent home. It wasn't punishment, it was the natural result of his own choices. He had built wealth, but not warmth. When illness came, he finally understood. What he lacked wasn't money, but peace. Karma hadn't punished him. It simply reflected his own sowing. Greed became loneliness. Selfishness became emptiness. And when the heart stops giving, life stops giving back. By contrast, those who grasp karma early may not always be wealthy, but they are at ease. They don't fear loss, for they know nothing truly belongs to anyone. They don't fear disadvantage, for they understand it's better to lose a little than to hurt someone deeply. They don't fear solitude, for love given sincerely never disappears. And they don't fear death, for they know death is simply transformation, a fallen leaf becoming nourishment for new life. So when we understand karma early, we stop racing to win, stop clinging to pride, and stop needing to prove anything, because we know that everything circles back, like an echo in a valley, like light reflected in a mirror, like a seed sprouting when the season is right. Those who understand karma early aren't saints. They are simply awake, people who live with awareness, kindness, gratitude, and peace. And once we realize that every choice eventually returns to us, we begin to see that even the smallest act can redirect the course of a life. Once there was an old woman who lived in a small house at the edge of a quiet village. Each day she sold a few bundles of vegetables, just enough to survive. One scorching afternoon, she noticed a beggar sitting by the roadside, thin, weary, and hungry. She looked at the small pot of porridge she carried, then at the man. Without saying a word, she shared half of her meal and gently handed it to him. People passing by shook their heads. She can barely feed herself, and she's feeding someone else? One muttered. The old woman smiled softly. It's all right. she said. I just couldn't look away from someone's suffering. I don't have much, but I still have a little kindness to give. Years later, the woman fell seriously ill. She had no money for medicine and lay quietly in her tiny home. One morning, a man arrived with medicine and paid all her hospital fees. It was the beggar she once fed. His voice trembled as he said, "If you hadn't fed me that day, I might have died by the road. Because of you, I survived, worked hard, and saved a little. Now it's my turn to return your kindness." The old woman smiled, tears falling onto her pillow. She had never given to receive, but a seed of kindness once planted will surely bloom when the time is right. Nothing is wasted. Every action, even the smallest, is quietly remembered by life itself. Don't blame fate. If you see yourself as a victim, look again. Perhaps once you turned away from someone's pain or chose silence when you could have helped. Nothing happens by accident. Today's pain has its cause, and the purpose is not to assign blame, but to learn and transform ourselves. Karma is impartial. It does not reward or punish, it simply reflects. Like a clear mirror smile, and it smiles. Frown, and it frowns. If the world feels harsh, perhaps it's not the world itself, but our own hearts that have forgotten how to be gentle. Another story, the man who blamed his fate. A man spent his life complaining about unfairness. He worked hard but remained poor, often saying, "Life is unfair, heaven doesn't care for me." One day he met a meditation teacher sitting quietly beneath a tree. He asked, "Master, why do I work so hard and still suffer? Is it destiny?" The teacher smiled kindly. "Tell me," he said, "how many times have you refused to help because it was inconvenient? How many times have you turned away from those who stumbled? How many times have you chosen yourself, ignoring others?" The man fell silent. In that stillness, memories surfaced. The beggar he once ignored, the lie he told for his own gain, the harsh words he never apologized for. He bowed his head, tears streaming down, not because he was judged, but because he finally saw that his pain did not come from heaven or fate, but from his own choices. The teacher spoke softly. "You say life is unfair, but have you been fair to others? You long for love, but have you ever truly loved?" The man said nothing. He realized that life doesn't punish. It simply returns what we send into it. From that day on, he changed. He began to help those around him, carrying a bowl of rice to his elderly neighbor, speaking kindly to a street vendor, and picking up stones from the path so others wouldn't stumble. And strangely, life began to change too. He smiled more, he complained less, and deep within there grew a peace he had never known before. He finally understood. Fairness isn't found outside. It begins within the clarity of one's own heart. When we live honestly, with gratitude and compassion, the world itself becomes softer. And the meditation teacher said gently, "Karma isn't somewhere far away. It's right here in the way you treat others today." The man bowed in silence. From that day on, when he saw suffering, he didn't turn away. He knew that each time he helped another, he was healing something within himself, repaying invisible debts, and planting good seeds for tomorrow. Karma is a continuous stream. Every thought, word, and deed is a ripple on the vast ocean of causes and conditions. Whether the ripple is soft or strong, it will return to shore at the right time, in the right way. And once we understand this, we no longer fear retribution. We simply cherish each moment, knowing that every time we think kindly, speak gently, and act with care, life itself begins to soften and smile back at us. If you want life to hurt less, begin with yourself. Many people search for the cause of their pain outside, blaming others, circumstances, or fate. But if we pause for a moment, we'll realize that every result begins with the seeds we plant. If we want a lighter life, we must start by softening our own hearts. If we want to be understood, we must first try to understand. If we want fewer grudges, we must stop creating pain for others. That is the simplest way to change life without fighting it. Look at every thought, word, and small action. If you don't want deceit, don't deceive. If you don't want to be hurt, don't cause hurt. If you seek respect, start by giving respect. Karma isn't hidden in the heavens. It lives in the small reactions we choose each day. How we speak, how we hold or release, how we choose anger or compassion. These are the seeds we sow. There was once a woman who felt lonely within her own family. Her husband grew distant, her children cold. Each day the house felt like winter. At first she blamed life. Why is my life so unhappy? Why does everyone treat me so coldly? Then one day, while listening to a Dharma talk, she realized, perhaps I too have been cold to my parents, to my loved ones. Perhaps I've demanded to be understood without trying to understand. From that moment, she began to change, speaking more gently, listening more deeply, expecting less, and being grateful for small things. She didn't try to change others. She simply transformed her own energy, and gradually, almost without effort, her home changed too. Her husband began to speak with warmth. Her children started spending time beside her, sharing small stories of their day. The quiet house filled again with laughter. She said, I realized it wasn't fate that improved, it was me. When I changed how I lived, how I loved, and how I saw others, the world around me shifted as well. Nothing happens by accident. Karma favors no one, but it also rejects no one. It simply reflects what we create and offers us another chance to begin anew. Imagine throwing a stone into a still pond. Ripples spread outward and then slowly return to the very spot where the stone was cast. Likewise, every action, word, and thought is a small stone dropped into the water of cause and effect. Whether gentle or harsh, kind or careless, the waves always return. If we speak with cruelty, those ripples return as misunderstanding and anger. If we speak with kindness, they return as trust and affection. If we sow indifference, we'll meet loneliness. But if we sow compassion, it comes back as peace and gratitude. Therefore, speak the words you wish to hear and do the things you hope to receive. Choose goodness, even in the smallest act. Don't think that kindness is ever wasted, like drops of water patiently falling on stone. Gentle persistence shapes even what seems unchangeable. Every small kindness, every smile, every moment of patience helps transform the current of our karma. No one escapes karma, but no one is bound by it forever. When we understand and live in harmony with it, karma becomes a gentle companion, a quiet friend reminding us to walk slower, speak softer, and love more. And when we see life through the lens of karma, fear begins to fade. We realize that everything that arrives has a reason, and everything that leaves carries a hidden gift. In the end, karma isn't meant to punish, but to teach us how to live rightly and how to live peacefully. No one escapes karma, yet karma isn't something to fear. Many people grow uneasy when they hear the word karma. They imagine it as punishment, a cosmic sentence, a curse. But in truth, karma isn't a verdict. It's a mirror that faithfully reflects what we do. When we live honestly, love sincerely, and pause before harming, karma becomes a gentle friend, quietly reminding us, live rightly, and peace will find you. Believe that no good deed ever disappears. It may simply not be its season yet. Sometimes we do the right thing and see no reward. We grow impatient, thinking, maybe it didn't matter. But like a seed buried in soil, it's still sprouting beneath the surface, waiting for sunlight and rain. And sometimes, that good result doesn't return from the one we helped, but from a stranger, a new chance, a kind word that arrives just when we need it. What we give will always find its way back, no matter how long the circle takes to close. Before acting, ask yourself, if this came back to me, would I welcome it? If the answer is no, pause, because every action knows the road home. Speak kindly. Act as though you are planting seeds for your own future garden. We may not control outcomes, but we can always choose how we sow. When you're hurt, don't only ask, why did they do this to me? Ask gently, have I ever done the same to someone else? That question isn't self-blame. It's self-awareness, a way of asking, what can I change now? If you've ever caused pain, begin with an apology, even if it's only whispered within. Sincere intention has a healing power far deeper than we imagine. Some people live by calculation and deceit, believing they can outsmart karma. But truth never stands on false ground. A house built on sand will tilt. A life built on deceit will eventually collapse under its own weight. Not because anyone punishes it, but because what isn't real cannot last. There are also those who realize too late, when they've lost someone they love, or when illness knocks on their door, that they had been living too fast, too cold, too unaware. Their tears may not erase the past, but they can open a door to awakening. Better late than never. And when remorse is sincere, karma doesn't strike. It softens, like a wise teacher who smiles and says, now that you understand, go and live differently. Karma isn't fast, but it's always precise. It flows like a river returning to the sea, never lost, never stagnant. Good will find its way to good, and the unwholesome will seek chances to be transformed. Through this continuous flow, life teaches us how to live rightly, truthfully, and mindfully. So don't wait to see before you believe. When the fruit has ripened, all we can do is accept it. But while the seed is still being planted, we can still choose to change it. If today we speak truthfully, act kindly, and pause before causing harm, then we are already changing the cause and reshaping the effect. No one can do that for us, only we can. Therefore, slow down a little, listen more deeply, and love more fully. Let karma become your quiet companion. Not something to fear, but something to guide you. And one day, when you look back, you'll smile and realize that every hardship you faced was a gift, one that taught you to see, to grow, and to love better. True practice isn't in ritual, it's in how we live. Many people come to the Dharma because of suffering, hoping to find peace. They often think they must visit temples, chant sutras, or bow countless times to be protected. But the essence of practice doesn't lie in ceremony. It lies in whether the mind is calm, the heart is kind, and the actions are compassionate. Going to the temple is beautiful. Chanting is precious. But if we do it while the heart is still full of anger, envy, or pride, then it's only an outer shell. The Buddha once taught, the true worshiper is the one who lives by the Buddha's heart. So even if we can't go to a temple every day, we can turn our own home into a place of peace. Each morning, spend a few minutes in stillness, breathing mindfully, silently reciting the name of Amitabha Buddha, or simply making a gentle vow. Today may I live with awareness, speak with kindness, and act with honesty. Just like that, your breath becomes a prayer, and your home becomes a temple. When remembering those who have passed, we don't need paper offerings or elaborate rituals. What matters most is gratitude and loving kindness. Sit quietly, breathe slowly, and whisper in your heart, "May those who once walked beside me be at peace. May they be free from suffering and rest in light." Then, rather than stopping at words, do one small act of goodness in their honor. Help someone in need, offer a kind word, or simply forgive someone who once hurt you. Each of these small acts is a living incense, warmer than any smoke that rises from a stick. The Buddha is not far away. He lives within us. He doesn't ask us how many times we bow, but whether we live awake and kind each day. One who lets go of resentment, smiles in difficulty, and helps when able is already bowing to the Buddha through their way of life. The precepts are not restrictions. They are acts of self-compassion. When we avoid killing, we protect compassion. When we avoid lying, we protect trust. When we refrain from stealing, we protect integrity. When we avoid harmful desire, we protect purity. When we avoid intoxication, we protect clarity. Each precept is not a chain but a lamp, guiding us through the night of ignorance. Let your generosity be living, not ritual. If you have no money to give, then offer a smile, a kind word, a moment of patience, or a listening ear. These are the purest offerings the Buddha delights in. And if possible, find a community of kind friends. It doesn't have to be formal. Only hearts in harmony are needed. Sit together, read a short passage of Dharma, share your stories, listen without judgment. That alone is a precious meditation. In this noisy world, to hold a quiet space where you can return to yourself is already a miracle. To pray for the departed is not about ritual. It's about living kindly while we are alive. When we bring joy to others, those we've loved and lost rise with that joy. When we live truthfully, they too find peace, because our hearts and theirs remain connected in the stream of cause and effect. So instead of lighting incense only for the dead, light the flame of understanding within yourself. Instead of bowing to all directions, hold the Buddha in your heart and live his teachings in your daily moments. This is the kind of practice without borders, without excess ritual, yet deeply rooted in the heart. And finally, remember, the Dharma doesn't live only on the altar. It lives in the small things we do every day. When we are mindful, when we love, when we understand, then wherever we are, the Buddha is already there. Namo Amitabha Buddha.